Hello, everyone. This is MMA Interesting Prospects podcast. Today, our guest is Kris Vereen, who will be defending his peak fighting welterweight title on July 15th. Hello, Kris. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. How about yourself?
Yes, I'm good. Good, thanks. Kris, I think that your next opponent will be the biggest challenge of your career because of his experience and the skill. So please tell me, what do you think about him as the opponent, and probably what would be next for you if you gonna win this bout?
I think, Evan Cuts, man, I'm a huge fan of him. I know him personally. I've met him a few times. He's actually, he's refereed a few of my grappling matches, I think when I was a purple belt or a blue belt. And I've actually cornered against him. One of my old teammates actually fought him, and I cornered against him. I have nothing but respect for the guy. He's a great guy, respectable guy, just like myself. I think some of the main we have some of the same traits, same beliefs. We're both humble. And I think I know it's my toughest fight up to date. He's a vet in the game. He has all the experience, and he's just well rounded, man. He's very well rounded. As for what's next, I really don't know. I'm not really thinking about what's next. I'm thinking about July 15th. I'm not gonna overlook him. I don't think that's fair to him. I don't think it's fair to myself. So I'm just not really worried about what's next in line. You know, I'm more about July 15th, and then whatever happens after that happens. I'm here for it.
I actually were quite surprised after your last fight that the UFC didn't contacted you about a UFC contract, because even MMA Junkie like listed you in January as the guy who should be in the UFC with the win. So I thought that maybe even we will not have a chance to talk before you are a UFC fighter.
Yeah, I mean, I would have loved to got that call, and we thought, being 8-0, we would have got that call as well. But sometimes it doesn't go our way, so we got to do what we got to do. I don't know, the game we're in is crazy. I think I should be there. A lot of other people think I should be there, but July 15th, I think that it is going to be a great challenge for me to find out if I really deserve to be in the UFC, because Evan Cuts is a big name. He's been around for a while. He's been on the regional scene for a minute. He's very known. Um, so I think we find out where I need to be, or where I deserve to be.
Yes, and maybe because you have a great record, you have a great skill, maybe the one thing that is missing is like the one big name, one big win. So maybe Ivan Katz will be the guy who will give you some tough challenge, but when you defeat him, you will be able just to go to straight to the UFC.
Absolutely. I mean, that's always the plan too. So um, we're hoping to get that done. But like I said, man, we're working hard, and we're trying to keep it all together.
And please tell me about your beginnings with the combat sports. How did your journey with MMA started?
So I played college football at a Division II in Oklahoma, and I don't know, I always kind of wanted to learn jujitsu and MMA. Just I didn't ever want to compete. I just wanted to learn it just for self-defense purposes, just to say I do it. And opportunity presented his way. I was actually working at a restaurant with a guy that participated in Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu, all that stuff like that, and he introduced me to judo, and I did judo for like 6 months. Yeah, I did judo for like 6 months, and then he ended up being my training partner for a very, very long time. I still talk to him. Um, and like I said, he introduced me to MMA, jiu-jitsu, and from there, that's just how it started. I still didn't want to fight. I had no intentions of fighting or making this out of a career. Um, I just wanted. I think somebody paid for one of my tournaments. Yeah, somebody paid for one of my tournaments, and then I did pretty good in it. And I was like, all right, I'll keep competing. And then next thing you know, I ended up taking my first amateur fight, and then I was like, all right, cool.
Yes, and it started, and right now you are like top guy on the welterweight division in the I think whole US.
Absolutely, absolutely, man. It's been an honor. It's been a blessing. It's been a long road, but hopefully, it'll all pay off soon. That's definitely the plan.
And where do you currently train?
I am training at Genesis MMA, Genesis Jiu Jitsu. I'm sorry, Genesis Jiu Jitsu in River Oaks, Texas, with Mark De La Rosa, Kendrick Williams, Malik Lewis, Colton Loud, Montana De La Rosa, Donovan Beard, uh, Travis St. John. We have a lot of names. We have a lot of high level guys over there. So that's my crew that I'm training with, and then I have my own gym, Spartan Fit MMA in Springtown, Texas, where I do a lot of my jujitsu with a lot of my guys that I teach and instruct too. So those guys help me as well in my fight camps.
Yes, and I think that these are good fighters, good sparring partners. Mark De La Rosa was a UFC veteran. He
Yes,
fought
yes.
in the flyweight division with many good guys, and
Hmm.
Colton Loud is also, I think, that one of the toughest
Yeah.
prospect in US.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Colton is definitely coming up, and we're excited about him. Definitely Malik Lewis. Malik Lewis is in the same boat as me. One more fight, and he's gonna be there. So he's one of the top 55ers in the nation as well.
And right now, what is the favorite part of the training for you?
I don't know. I think all of it. I've learned to embrace the grind. I've learned to enjoy everything. I could sit here and say, "Man, I hate doing this. I hate doing that," and it just makes my job harder. But I feel like you go through all the trials and you go through all the tough rounds. You know, although you don't want to be there at the gym that day, you may want to be, taking a nap or just rest. You still go do it. So I'm enjoying all of it. I love all of it. I think in order to be successful, to be great in this sport, you have to embrace the grind and everything that comes with it.
Yes, and I think that there is always a lot of grind because sometimes you are not like uh, don't want to go to the gym because you have another thing in mind, and you still have to because of your training camp.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. It's it's a lot. It's a lot. I actually got a full camp. I think we had like an 8 week, no, 8 week camp when we got this fight. So this has actually been the first time I've actually had a full camp and being able to really work on the things that I need to work on. So I'm excited about that.
And let's say that after this fight, Bellator or PFL would contacted you that they want to have you on their roster. Would you be interested in going to either of these promotions?
Oh, absolutely. Everybody has a different journey. The ultimate goal is absolutely the UFC. I think that's everybody's goal uh, once you step into the MMA game. But everybody's journey is different. I could end up in the PFL, I can end up in Bellator, and become a big name in either one of those. So I'm okay with either one of those or UFC. Like I said, ultimately that's the goal, but you never know what God has planned for me. So I'm just doing what I can do, and then the rest will fall in place where it needs to be.
Yes, and I think that it's good for the fighter that there are other opportunities, not only the UFC, but there is a Bellator who really has a really tough welterweight division or PFL who give you a chance to win $1 million.
Yeah, 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 yeah. That $1 million would be nice to come across.
And do you see your future in welterweight division, or do you plan to like maybe 1 year or 2 year later go to the middleweight division?
Oh, right now, definitely stick to welterweight. But you never know what could happen, man. Weight cuts get harder sometimes, and maybe. But I see myself being welterweight. We even talked about potentially, maybe doing like a practice cut to 55, maybe. I would want to try that outside of camp. Maybe get a cut to 55 and spar a couple rounds and see how I feel about that. But I'm definitely we're gonna see where I'm at in the welterweight division at the highest level, and maybe I get that call. We take one fight and we're like, okay, this is where we need to be. This is where we're not need to be. Just kind of review everything and see how it's going.
And right now, I think that there is the two best ways to go to the UFC. It's either Contender Series or short notice fight. And let's
Yes,
say
sir.
that UFC contacted you that they need to that they want they want you to fight in like 2 or 3 weeks. Would you be able to cut the weight and be ready for this kind of challenge?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, man. I pretty much stay on weight. I mean, I may have a good weekend every once in a while, but for the most part, I think I stay on weight pretty well. So I'm always, and I know that that short notice fight could come like 10 days notice, if not 7 days. So I always pride myself on staying away my walk around weight down. So in 2 or 3 weeks, oh, that'd be excellent. That'd be more than enough time.
And let's say that you can pick any fighter in the welterweight division that you can fight, let's say like a dream fight for you. Who do you pick in this situation?
Oh, just like for my debut fight or just
No,
anybody.
let's say it's a dream fight. So anybody
Oh,
from any organization.
a dream fight for me. Oh man, that's a tough one. Um, I think a dream fight I would be interested in right now is an up and coming prospect, Ian Gary. He's like really good striking, and I mean, he trains out of a good gym, but like I don't know, I just feel like he hasn't had that person that's really gonna push him as far as the wrestling and jujitsu side goes. Although because he's very long and he knows how to strike, he knows how to use his striking. I think that one and like another one that would be fun is Joaquin Buckley. I'm a huge fan of that guy, but I just love his style and he's not scared to fight anybody. He's that type of fighter like you fight him, you got to come with it. And those are the kind of fights that I like. Like, I'm up for the challenge. The challenge is the camp is going to push me to become a better fighter. So I like those kind of challenging fights. So I think one of those two would be a dream matchup for me.
Yes, and Buckley is like he's winning all his fights by some vicious knockout. So you have
Oh
to
yeah,
be like very cool, calm and collected, not to be one of his victims.
absolutely not. Absolutely.
Yes, and with Ian Gary, I agree. He actually was because I like do some research, and he was one of the guy that I would like to see you against.
Yeah, yeah.
He would be a good one.
That would be a good fight, man. He's long, he's tall, he's powerful, he knows how to strike. So when it comes to those kind of fights, those are always the interesting ones. Kind of like my last opponent, Perry Stargell, man. He was very long. He knew how to strike very well. He was a sniper, and he brought the best out of me. So those kind of fights like that, you have to dig deep and you kind of find out what you're made of.
And overall, what do you think about welterweight division in the UFC right now?
I think it's stacked. I think it's one of the most stacked divisions. I think welterweight and lightweight are two of the best divisions. Like it's stacked across. You got so many good names in the welterweight still. You got some good names in the lightweight division, but welterweight overall is probably the best division in the UFC, hands down.
Yes, there are a lot of names, a lot of great names. Even like the number one contender right now, it's Colby Covington, but also there is Belal Muhammad. There is like Kamaru Usman. Even with the fights that he lost, there is Khamzat Chimaev, Shavkat Rakhmonov. So
Exactly.
there are so many guys.
Yeah, you have all those big names, and that's the thing about the welterweight division. Although Leon Edwards has the belt, I think it's still up for the taking. Like I say, you just named some big names. You can't ever count out Gilbert Burns or anything like that. All those guys are big names, and they're contenders. So that's why I think the welterweight division is very scary.
Yes, but also I think that in some way Leon Edwards, because of his last two fights, he showed that he's like because for many years he was like he have good wins, but also like something was missing. But after
Yeah, yeah.
this knockout win, I think that something changed, and he might be really, really tough to beat right now.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, he's riding a 2 fight. Yeah, like good fights, and I think like he's riding on that. So that is good. That's a good point you have. So yeah, it could change. I'm definitely hoping to see him and Kobe put on a good show. Um, I'm ready for that. I'm ready to see, who's gonna win out of that one.
And who is your favorite fighter to watch?
Man, I really like watching a lot of Usman fights, and I love watching Chamaya. I love watching them too. I do a lot of film study on them too. Um, I love the power that Usman has, and he knows how to mix up his wrestling and striking. And he's super athletic and explosive. And I just watch it. I love watching Shamaya because like he just doesn't care. Um, he's gonna push forward. He doesn't care what skill you have. He believes in his own skill and he's gonna utilize whatever it is. Good wrestling, good jujitsu, and of course he's got some powerful striking. He has one of the fastest finishes. So I really do a lot of film study on those two. A lot.
Yes, so actually there will be a fight, Usman against Chimaev, so it
Yeah.
should be also a great one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I agree. I know. Man, I'm hoping Usman wins that one. I hope he doesn't. I hope this isn't like his retirement fight. That's what I'm hoping it's not. I don't want to see him go out like that. I'm not against Shamaya winning, but it's two of my top guys, and it's hard to watch for me.
And what do you think that would be a toughest stylistically matchup for you? Who do you think would be like the style that can beat your style in a theory?
In the future,
Yes.
or just yeah, I don't know, man. I'm really working on becoming a all around fighter, all around martial artist. Working on my striking, my boxing, my kicking. Uh, I think somebody that you're gonna have to beat me is you're gonna have to really finish me. You're gonna have to pretty much fight a perfect fight. My last fight, I think I showed everybody that you have to fight a perfect fight to beat me. I was down 2 rounds, but I knew what I had to do to come back, and I got the finish. I'd say I was down one for sure one. But I think it's not really about style. I think I adjust really well to people's style. It's just all about the fighter. Like, are you going to stay on the gas? Are you going to have the gas tank to finish me? Are you going to be smart enough to finish me? I think that's what it's about is the IQ and then the heart that they have. With my team and my coaches, I can adjust to any style because we have all kind of different styles in my gym. So any style that I'm going against, I have in my gym. I have a guy at my gym that has over 80 professional Muay Thai fights. I have the wrestler, I have the peer strikers, I have the boxers, I have all of that in my gym. So I know I can adjust to any kind of style. So when it comes down to you just got to have the heart and you got to have, I guess, the IQ to fight me, to beat me, to finish me.
And let's say that this is 1 year later. It's June 2024. Where do you think you're gonna be? Would it be a UFC? Maybe you will be defending your peak championship. What do you think?
1 year from now, I pray to be in the UFC somewhere. I plan UFC, Bellator, PFL somewhere. I definitely don't plan on being on the regional scene in a year. And that's not me being like, you know, cocky or anything. That's just me, being realistic. I know the journey that I'm on and I know where I'm headed. I know where I belong. So that's why, this camp has been one of the toughest camps for me, pushing myself mentally, physically, the most I've ever done is because I know what's at stake right now. So I have to make sure that if we have this conversation a year from now, I'm where I'm destined to be.
And let's say that you can take one of the tools from any fighter in the world. What would you like to pick, like to choose?
Uh, I would say Gilbert Burns. Gilbert Burns is relentless. He's gonna be in your face. He can strike with you. He can wrestle with you. He definitely can do any jiu-jitsu with you, and he's just an entertainer. Gilbert never really had any bad fights. I've never really seen him have any bad fights, so I would definitely say Gilbert Burns for sure. He's also one of my favorite. He became one of my favorite based off the Chimaev fight. Him and Chimaev, that fight was very entertaining, and some could have said it could have went either way. So, but yeah, I would definitely take Gilbert Burns on that question.
Yes, and he's a great fighter. He was just a BJJ guy, but
Yeah, yeah.
in one moment he become like overall great mixed martial artist. He has a lot of knockouts. He has a good wrestling, so it's not just like one trick pony.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. You don't want to be. I don't think you'd be a one-trick pony at the highest level. That's not a good sign for you.
Yes, it's in 2023. It's really hard to be good in one discipline, one part of MMA game.
Oh, yes, sir. I agree.
And let's say that that there is like few hours to your fight. How do you deal with the stress?
Uh, Man, that's a good question. I have a couple different ways I deal with it, man. I have to make myself comfortable. Um, I have to make sure I'm doing everything that I need to do mentally to be ready to flip that switch in a few hours. So normally what I do is I try to take a nap, but sometimes I'm just like too anxious, so I can't sleep. I'm definitely listening to music. I may sit back and watch my phone a little bit, but for the most part, I try to uh, I try to put myself in a dark place, and since I don't want to be walking out with any doubt in my head, I don't want to be making that walk to the cage. I'm still doubting myself. I don't want to do that. So I try to put myself in that place I need to be a little early. I definitely don't like the whole joking around, laughing. I'm not really that type. I'd rather be silent and just hang out by myself. I don't want to be around people that's joking around consistently. I don't know. I guess people can say that's weird or whatever, but I just rather get ready to put myself where I need to be to come out with the results that I need.
So you are like analyzing this your opponent and this fight in your head.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. I'm always analyzing. I'm always visualizing. Every day, there's not a day that goes by that I'm thinking. I'm trying to visualize how the fight plays out every single day when I sign a contract to a fight. Every single day, I'm visualizing. What if this happens? What if this doesn't happen? I'm always visualizing. I'm always thinking about the fight every day.
And let's say that there is a moment after the fight. What do you like to do in your free time when you can't train? You are like off the training camp.
Man, really just catch up with the family, man. Because when I'm at camp, dude, it's like all my time is going towards the gym, or I'm just kind of cranky some days because I may had a I may have had a poopy training day, so I'm like, man, I hope this doesn't transition over to the fight, and it puts me in a bad mood. So during camp time, I'm kind of like really locked into the gym, so the sacrifice is a little heavier than most of the days. So after a fight, I like to really take some time. I try to take time off. It doesn't really last long, but I think the max that I've taken days off is maybe 3 or 4 days from the gym, maybe. But other than that, I'm usually back at the gym training, just getting better and better. And then if not, after a fight, I'm usually hanging out with my family, just taking them shopping or something, or going out to eat. Gaining some weight for sure. um, Doing all that stuff, eating everything that I couldn't eat for the weight cut or the past couple weeks before the fight.
Yes, actually, many fighters like to eat after the fight, after the
Absolutely.
training camp, because they don't need to be worried about the weight. Finally.
Absolutely, yeah, yeah. So it's a good thing. It's a good thing to get caught up on all that.
And do you have any dreams that are not involving fighting? Let's say that there are on your bucket list.
Oh yeah, man. I want to own my own gym. I want to be able to be a better coach than I am fighter. That is my goal. I want to have a couple of champions on my hand, whether they're amateur, professional fighters. I want to be able to lead people to the next level. Um, I want to be able to be a coach that people can trust, and I want to be a big name as a coach. Like, hey, that's Kris Vereen's fighter. Everybody from his camps are killers. So that's one of my goals and one of my dreams is to be a great coach to show people to work hard off and on the mats and change people's life for the best. So I got to lead by example.
So it's actually a quite big dream because we are very good MMA fighters. So to be a better
Thank you.
coach, it's like a tough one. But always the goals or dreams that are tough one to get are the best one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely. I agree. So yeah, that's one of my, I want to branch out. I want to have multiple gyms, maybe across the nation, maybe, one in California somewhere. But, hey, it comes with times, but those are definitely my dreams.
So overall, what would be the best scenario for you for this fight?
I don't know. I just really want to put on a good performance. I think, um, I think I always pride myself every fight. I try to become a better fighter in some kind of way, whether it's striking, wrestling, or jujitsu. And I feel like every fight I have gotten better. So my goal going into every fight is to be better than my last fight, be a better fighter than I was last fight, and the rest will take care of itself. And that's what I'm going in to do this fight. I'm going in to be a better fighter than I was last fight, and the rest takes care of itself. A lot of these guys, they're content with where they are or who they are, and they're not really training to get better. They keep the same game plan. Since I was an amateur, every single fight, I'm adding more tools to my arsenal. I'm not looking to do the same things that I did every fight. So this fight is the same way. I'm looking to get better in every aspect. Um, I've added more tools, a lot more tools, and we're moving better. My IQ is higher. So, I'm just looking to display a new Kris Vereen. That's all I can do. That's all I can do is be a better me, and then the results will take care of itself.
And sometimes the best performances happen with the biggest challenge against the toughest opponent. So it can be in this situation like this that Ivan Katz is the best fighter that you faced, and still your performance would be the best of your career.
Oh, absolutely. That's always the plan. I don't ever want to go backwards. Are we gonna have those nights where it doesn't go our way? Absolutely. We're gonna have those nights, but I really, like I said, I just want to show that I'm a better fighter than I was last fight.
Yes, and I think that because of your skills and skills of your opponent, this fight should be in the bigger promotion. That to be honest, both of you should be in the UFC, fighting in the bigger promotion than right now. But sometimes, of course, that happens that UFC or Bellator, from some reasons, can't take all great fighters to their cards.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is, man. Certain things happen, and I just kind of go on what the plan God has for me. So at the end of the day, maybe it's just not my time to go to UFC. Maybe I need to prove myself this fight, and I'm okay with that. So um, I think this is like a contender series type of fight or a early prelim fight to UFC card. So I think the fans are definitely getting their money's worth on this fight.
So, Kris, thank you for this conversation. I hope that we can do a second part of this in the next year, and you will be fighting in the main card in the UFC.
Absolutely, man. I'd love to be on your show. Thank you for having me.